Right edition, welcome. Being disarmed by government is a mistake a free people only get to make once. Pretty profound statement, huh? Give that some thought. In Canada and in America, there are many websites with regards to guns. And guns typically aren't just about guns, they're about rights and freedoms. And I have two that I go to all of the time. I quite enjoy them. In Canada, it's www.gunownersofcanada.com. A great site. It's very interactive, very user-friendly, and they talk about guns. But again, all of that is in relationship to your rights and freedoms as Canadians. And I encourage you to go to that website and take away from it what you can and put back what you will. And you know what? It's just good to be interactive again and be involved. In the U.S., the one I go to often is called www.gunrightsmedia.com. Pretty much the same story there with an American perspective, which isn't very much different than the Canadian one, although they do have more rights to kind of work from. In Canada, Tony Bernardo, he's the executive director for the Canadian Shooting Sports Association, Canada's largest firearms owners association. CSSA is the equivalent of the NRA, I suppose, in America. They look after the rights and freedoms of the sport shooter and the gun owner in general. And even if you don't have a gun, you can be a member. Not everybody that is a member to the CSSA actually does own a firearm. They're all about the freedoms that Tony and his staff actually go out and protect. He's an avid handgun and shotgun shooter as well, and he's going to be the speaker at the BC Wildlife Federation. That'd be bcwf.net is their website in the latter part of April. And if you get a chance, go out and see Tony. He's a great speaker, and he'll be talking about guns and governments and what they do, and particularly what they don't do. Tony was the one of the architects, a main architect actually, with regard to the demise of the long gun registry. There's a lot of good stories. In British Columbia, here's a guy that I wonder if he'll go to the meeting that Tony's going to be speaking at. He recently wrote in Vancouver, he wrote a letter to the editor, and he said, I am aghast that the government is now saying that you can get a hunting license without taking training to learn how to hunt. Well, I'm aghast that he would write such a stupid thing. That's just so typical. Let's have a law on top of another law. People already have gun licenses. You're trained, you know how to shoot, right? Because you were able to do that. And now he's saying if you're going to go hunt or do certain things, you have to have more training. That's kind of a liberal / communist kind of a concept, I think. You know what? And he goes on to say, are they insane? And I'm sure he'll be there. So Tony, good luck with him and many others like him. In London, Ontario, Canada, recently a man was sitting there watching television, 66 years old, and another man, a bad guy, broke into the home and they had a fist fight. The good guy won, the 66-year-old. The other guy was forced out of the house and he ran away. The police did catch him. They came over to the good guy's house. They looked around and the good guy had a gun in his house. These policemen, they're overzealous and they have no right to do that. The first thing the Canadian police do when they come to any house for any reason, they say, is there a firearm in the house? Hey guys, you're supposed to know that already. You've already checked, haven't you? Come on. In any event, I'm really digressing, but they charge the guy, the good guy. He's been charged with a weapons offense. He needs firearmlegaldefense.com. In Canada, you got the www, as said, Gun Owners of Canada. That kind of keeps you in the loop, gives you information. Then you have Tony Bernardo with the CSSA. That does more than that because they take things to the Hill in Parliament to try to get things passed to look after you. They have to defend you. You can't defend yourself when you're working all day trying to feed your family. And then you have firearm legal defense, that when the charges are actually laid, they go to court and you get free legal fees and free consultations with lawyers and all that stuff. Hey, let me end today with a bright idea. I actually saw this. I saw this in New Zealand recently in an article. Of all places, New Zealand, but they have vending machines with bullets in them. Can you imagine? So you can go to a gun store after hours, there'll be a vending machine, you put money in and you get bullets. Why not? Who would have thunk that? You all come back tomorrow, we're going to more for you from the right. See ya.